back to the SA Sports Show, and time to talk the Cobra Foundation. Now, this is a place that you'd be well aware of.
Yes, of course. Yeah, and coached the guys for 4 or 5 years.
You did.
The Cobras.
You did.
Which I loved.
This is a great story. This is something that I found out about quite a few years ago, and have been following it ever since very closely, even though very closer than most. But we've got the director of the Cobra Foundation with us, Tim Kelly. Tim, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Good on you, mate. I'm glad you could come in because this is a story we've been wanting to get out for quite some time. To me, there's a lot of people do some great work out there in foundations and charities and whatever. And this is one of my favourites because purely because of the way it started. And I'm going to go to you now, mate.
Yeah.
And just
tell us a bit about it.
Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, I will. So it started in 2006, like all good ideas, on the back of a couple of beers, as it was, at the Cove Footy Club. So the president at the time, his son had contracted testicular cancer, and the president was going to sell his car in order to fund his treatment. So a couple of people got together and said that they would organise an event and try and raise some money for it. As chance would have it, one of the guys who was involved in that had met Tommy Hafey on a flight a couple of weeks before and got talking to him. So Tommy flew over on his own back, really, and hosted a night. So they ran an event. Well, they aimed to raise about $8,000. They ended up raising $15,000.
Wow.
So what it is, I'd put some of that money in the kitty and then use that year on year in order to fund some of the activities of the foundation. So essentially the foundation started to help footballers and amateur sports people associated with football clubs who got injuries, who didn't have income protection, who needed help with medical expenses. So we started there, and then as time grew and the organisation grew, we were helping people in other sporting organisations, netball, cricket, those sort of things. And in time we just expanded it out to the broader community. So as our friends and people from our sporting circles moved into other communities to play footy and work and those sort of things, the network expanded. So we've helped people who lived on the York Peninsula, the Eyre Peninsula, up through the Clare, across on KI as well. We sort of helped out with the bushfires. Even sort of more locally as well, we'd sort of helped Kilburn. We sort of felt for them a couple of years ago. I think they got into some sort of dire financial straits as well. So we had a bit of money in the kitty and we had the opportunity to step in and help them out as well.
Because I know there was a young lad that the incident was, I was actually at the game, was playing amateur league. It was basically bent his arm in half. It was a terrible incident, and he was an apprentice. Got to speak to his boss on the Monday, Tuesday, said, well, don't worry about coming in, you've lost your apprenticeship. And I said to the young lad, well, look, write to the Cobra Foundation and look, they might be able to reach out a little bit and put a good, then they helped him out, and it was just absolutely fantastic. So as proud as I am of, being part of the Cobra Football Club, and I love my time there I know you guys reach out just not to your club, our club, but it's it's a variety of different sports and different foundations and human beings that just need a little bit of help. And it made a world of difference to this lad. World of difference.
Yeah, I think now we probably position ourselves more in the community rather than just within those sporting circles as well. Some of the help that we've helped provide as well was some people that had some debilitating illness, so we funded a bit of work in the home to get some home improvements so it's more accessible throughout the house. Kids who've, unfortunately the kids got craniofacial surgery, those sort of things. So funding accommodation, flights, those sort of things so they can get the best treatment around Australia as well. So more a community focus, I think, for us.
How do people? You must get quite a lot of inquiries about whatever, because it's big now. It's huge. The Cobra Foundation is very, very big. So people would just write you a letter, or they would send you an email, or whatever about the problems they're facing, and then you have a board.
Yeah, so we've got a website, and then people can put their submissions in there. We're registered with the Australian Charity National Register as well, we're sort of governed by how we manage it, which is good for us from a governance point of view, but certainly submissions are made. It'll go to the board. There's about 7 people on the board from a range of different backgrounds as well. And then we'll sort of assess those requests on their merit. Fantastic. And then depending on how much we've got in the kitty and then what the nature of the illness or injury might be, is we'll tip some money in to help them out as well. Sometimes financial, some non-financial. So we've got a network of people, tradesmen, those sort of things, and they might volunteer their time as well, so we'll help out there as well.
That is brilliant. brilliant, isn't it?
You also do, I mean, obviously you're raising money, so you have some obviously fantastic days of fundraising, and I know you have your classic golf fundraising day, which has been, probably from word go, that was how it really started to get some money and raising special sports guests and things like that. So, bit on your cards for this year?
Yeah, so I mean, like you said, that's our sort of primary fundraiser. We've been absolutely privileged to have Baz there. He's been there every single year since he started.
Privileged?
He's been wonderful.
I don't know. Would you say that? I'm not sure. But he's there.
So, and typically the format will be on our golf days is we'll play a round of golf, is we'll have a bit of a sportsman's night. So, once again, we've been privileged to get some absolute cracking people on there. We were lucky enough to get Neil Curley, Russell Ebert came a couple of times as well.
Let me go through a few, mate. I've written a few down that I can remember. Mark Davis, Phil Smythe, our own general.
A couple of years ago,
he was
great.
excellent. Russell Ebert, Neil Curley, Darren Jarman, Andrew Jarman. The list goes. The list of people that have actually supported this event is amazing.
Yeah, my name was on there, but for some reason it's off now. The highlights, I'm not on there.
That's so sort of neglect that one.
But it's been brilliantly supported.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Not only by these sports stars, Tim, but also by the general public, by the people that have come in to play these days. That day at Clare last year, mate, with the party
really
tent and what that was. I think Live Golf actually got the idea from the Cobra Foundation about the party hole, because that was spectacular. It was just a spectacular day and evening. And they do raise a lot of money, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's probably the new addition, is the party hole, and typically the wives, partners, girlfriends, whatever it might be, so they can come along and have a weekend away as well. And they've got, wine and live music and all that sort of stuff. So it's a good rounded day.
It's a big family day now, isn't it? I mean, you're talking about October. Something's coming up
that's
there.
the upcoming event that we've got, which will be on the 22nd of October. We're going to have a Barefoot Bowls Day on a Sunday afternoon. So a bit of a different format for us. But certainly you want to get families involved. We'll have food trucks. We'll have jumping castles for the kids. Adults can have a drink and roll down a couple of balls as well. And then we get some guest speakers and our charity auction as well.
Because it's interesting, Barry, a lot of people would just say, well, if I'm not involved in the Cobra Sports and Community Club, well, it's probably not for me. But
as a general public,
what you're doing is for for South Australia. So
that's right.
People shouldn't think, well, because I'm not in that little square there,
absolutely.
I don't, I probably don't feel comfortable about going to the family days. But it's so important that
keep your eye out for it.
It's a foundation that's everyone needs to be part of.
Yeah, I think where it has its roots with the Cove Footy Club, by no means is it exclusive to there. And I think, through some of the work that we've done, it just shows that broader concern for doing work within the community as well.
It's been brilliant, mate. It's been absolutely brilliant. And as I say, every year, mate, we do it. And, I actually got a message from the Cobra Foundation this morning asking if October 22, Barefoot Bowls, are you in? Yeah, well, it's not hard to go, I'm in. It's just not hard, because they're great people. You see them every year. You see the same people that some of the support you got from local business as well, mate. You might want to give them a plug as well.
Yeah, that's a key.
There's a few of them around that have been there every year.
Well, and they have. They've been there right from the get-go. So the gentleman whom was sort of at the source of the foundation, Ralph Platten, All Frames and Mirrors, who you probably know really well through the footy club as well. And they give their time and they give all their things from their business as well to help to support us every year. Keith and Kathy down at Down South Party Hire, once again, have been there right from the beginning as well. The hotel group, the Highway have been just fantastic in looking after us. And then some of the relationships they have with their suppliers as well as helping us out, been great.
Sounds great, mate. Sounds
fantastic.
great. I'm glad you came in, mate, because it's a great cause, and they do great work. And if you see this happening out there, the Barefoot Bowls Day, which is at Clarence Park Bowling Club,
on the 22nd of October.
22. Be beautiful weather, barefoot bowls, couple of beers.
Oh, beautiful.
And for a great cause.
We'll be there.
We'll be there.
We'll be there.
You'll be there.
I'll be there.
I'll be there. You'll be there, for sure. No, we will be there. No problem at all. Tim, thanks for coming in, mate. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And folks, keep your eye out for that one. That's the October 22 Clarence Park Bowling Club for a Barefoot Bowls Night. Be a great night.
Brilliant.
We'll be back with more in just a moment.